In the beginning, God the eternal and omnipotent being looked out into the vast empty void filled with nothingness. He envisioned a magnificent creation, and so with a word God began his work. He created the heavens and the earth. The earth was a formless expanse, shrouded in darkness, void of life, waiting for purpose. The Spirit of God, like a gentle whisper, moved over the chaotic waters, preparing to breathe life into the universe. And God commanded, "Let there be light." In an instant, light burst forth, breaking through the darkness like a radiant dawn. The darkness retreated, and God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness, naming the light day and the darkness night, and thus the first evening and morning passed, marking the completion of the first day. Then God spoke again, "Let there be a divide in the waters." His voice echoed across the expanse, and the waters obeyed, forming a grand divide. The area above the waters he called sky, a magnificent dome of azure that would cradle the earth below. As the evening and morning passed, this was the second day. God continued his creation, declaring, "Let the waters below be gathered together, and let dry ground appear." Obeying his command, the waters withdrew, revealing solid ground. He called the gathered waters seas, and the dry land he named land. With a flourish, God declared, "Let the land bring forth grass and plants and trees bearing fruit with seed to reproduce," and so it was. The earth flourished with vibrant green grasses, diverse plants, and majestic trees, each bearing fruit, and all were pleasing to behold. As the third day concluded, God was delighted with his creation. Then God spoke once more, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate day from night." He created the sun, a glorious orb that would govern the day, and the moon, a gentle glow for the night, along with twinkling stars that would adorn the skies. God established the rhythms of days, seasons, and years, and again he saw that this was good. The evening and morning passed, marking the fourth day. With a heart full of purpose, God declared, "Let the seas be filled with living creatures, and the sky be filled with birds," at his command. The waters teemed with life, great and small creatures of every kind splashed joyfully in the waves. In the sky God created every variety of winged bird, each soaring gracefully above. God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters, the earth, and the sky." And so the fifth day came to a close, filled with life and movement. Then God turned his attention to the land, proclaiming, "Let the earth produce livestock, creatures that crawl. Every beast and all wildlife according to their kind." From the ground emerged a plethora of animals, each unique and beautiful, filling the land with sounds and movement. God looked upon his creation and saw that it was very good. After this, God formed a man out of the dust of the earth. With meticulous care, he shaped Adam, breathing into him the breath of life. Adam became a living soul, filled with spirit and purpose. God named him Adam and bestowed upon him dominion over all creatures on land, in the sky, and in the sea. Now the Lord God planted a garden in the east in Eden. This paradise was a vibrant sanctuary of life, lush and abundant. In this garden, God placed Adam to tend and cultivate it. The garden was adorned with beautiful trees, each providing fruit that was not only pleasing to the eye, but also delicious to taste. To nourish the garden, God caused a mist to rise from the earth, watering the ground, and a river flowed through Eden, branching out to water the surrounding lands. In this garden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Then God spoke to Adam, giving him clear instructions. "From every tree in the garden you may freely eat, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For if you do, you will surely die." Adam listened intently, understanding the importance of this command. To ensure that Adam would not be alone in his dominion, God brought every animal he had created to Adam, allowing him to name each creature according to its kind. As Adam named the animals, he noticed that all had their mates, yet he had none. Recognizing this, the Lord said, "It is not good for the man to be alone." So God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. While he slept, God gently took one of Adam's ribs and from it fashioned a woman, a companion and helper suitable for him. When Adam awoke and saw God's new creation, he exclaimed in joy, "You are bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Because you were taken out of man, you shall be called woman." And thus Eve was born, the mother of all living. In this perfect harmony, God created man and woman after his own image. Adam and Eve were naked, innocent, and unashamed, dwelling together in peace. God blessed them, instructing them, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. I give you dominion over every living creature that I have created." God established the sacred union of marriage, declaring that when a man and a woman unite, they become one flesh. And so the evening and the morning passed, completing the sixth day. On the seventh day, the Lord God rested from all that he had created. He looked upon the heavens, the earth, and all their wonders, and saw that everything was perfect. Therefore, God blessed the seventh day, making it holy, a day of rest and reflection. However, in the garden, there lurked a serpent who was craftier than any of the creatures God had made. The serpent approached Eve and whispered, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replied, "Oh no, we may eat the fruit of any tree, except for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If we eat from that tree, we will surely die." The serpent cunningly countered, "You will not surely die. God knows that if you eat from that tree, your eyes will be opened and you will become as wise as God himself." Tempted by the serpent's alluring words, Eve turned her gaze to the forbidden tree. The more she looked, the more beautiful and enticing the fruit appeared. She thought, "What harm could possibly come from tasting this fruit? Surely I shall gain wisdom. How could that be wrong?" Driven by desire, Eve took the fruit and ate it, then shared it with Adam. As soon as they tasted the forbidden fruit, their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked for the first time. Shame flooded over them, and they felt vulnerable. In their newfound awareness, they quickly gathered fig leaves and wove them together to cover themselves. Suddenly they heard the Son of God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. "Adam, where are you?" the voice of the Lord called out, gentle yet firm. Eve urged Adam, "We must hide." Adam replied, "I heard your voice in the garden and was afraid because I was naked." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat?" Adam hesitated. "The woman you created gave me the fruit, and yes, I ate it." God turned to Eve, asking, "What have you done?" Eve replied, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate the fruit." In righteous anger, God addressed the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed above all living creatures. You shall crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between her offspring and yours. You will crush your head, and you will bruise his heel." Turning to Eve, God said, "I will multiply your sorrow in childbearing. In pain shall you give birth. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." Then God turned to Adam and proclaimed, "Cursed is the ground because of you. You listened to your wife and ate from the tree I commanded you not to eat. All the days of your life you shall toil to work the ground. In sorrow and sweat you shall work for your food until you return to the ground from which you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return." Yet in his mercy, the Lord God made coats of animal skins to clothe Adam and Eve, providing for them even in their disobedience. "Behold, the man has become like one of us, understanding good and evil." God spoke with a heavy heart. "He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take from the tree of life, for then he would live forever." So God expelled them from the Garden of Eden, placing cherubim and a flaming sword to guard the way back to the tree of life. Adam and Eve, now understanding the weight of their choices, faced a new world, full of challenges but also of hope and redemption. As they began their new life outside the garden, they learned the importance of obedience, love, and the grace of God. The promise of redemption lingered in their hearts, reminding them of the love that God had for them despite their shortcomings.